Those attacks spurring a lot of controversy about whether 10,000 Syrian refugees should be allowed to come to the U.S. over the next year. Tonight, Denver 7 reporter Brenda Gonzalez talked with a Syrian American here, using her words to speak for those back in her native country. And Brenda Lee, she thinks that there's something wrong about the conversation with Syrian refugees.
Yeah, Teresa, more than a dozen of her family members have died in Syria, and now she wants others to understand their situation isn't much different than many who have family who once immigrated into this country.
My grandma knows Syria better than anyone.
Through her poem, Grandmother's Farm.
Now they cut down all the trees in my grandmother's farm.
Amal Kassir describes the situation her family living in Syria faces every day.
Now, this is the healthiest way to express my outrage on what's going on.
Kassir's lost 27 family members there.
It's nice to see you.
She was born in Denver but lived in Syria for 3 years. This was her final glimpse into the country back in April when she went to visit a refugee camp.
Someone tapped on my shoulder and said, "You know, you're looking into Syria right now, right?" And that wasn't the Syria that I always knew.
The Syria she knows is different than the country she says is now portrayed, especially after the Paris attacks.
There was no chance for me to grieve the situation before I had to think in my mind, what's this going to do for Muslim people, and what is this going to do about the refugee crisis?
Kassir's working with local nonprofits and reaching out to lawmakers in order to separate the fear she thinks is now associated with Syrian refugees.
The word invader to describe a refugee? I mean, that's... The Native Americans could have seen Ellis Island and called it the same thing.
She hopes her words,
"We will rebuild it with a prayer, with a meal,"
will start a new conversation.
We don't have anything to worry about as far as invaders. What we have to worry about is what our hatred is going to do for when these people get here.
And Kassir plans to publish a book of her poetry next month to collect proceeds to help Syrian refugees. Reporting live, Brenda Gonzalez, Denver 7.
All right, Brenda, thank you.